Today we're putting up the Milwaukee M18 30-degree framing nailer up against the tried and true Dewalt 21-degree cordless framing nailer. That's right, it's a tool duel between Dewalt and Milwaukee, new versus, well, not so new. Now in this video we're going to use and abuse, we're going to talk about specs, we're going to talk about price, we'll talk about all the features on both of these nailers and which one I think comes out on top. But before we get started with the awesomeness that is this video, let me say one thing. So here's the thing, I actually got a couple comments saying that it wasn't fair to put these two nailers up against each other because one's older than the other. Well, I say, why not? This one's still on the market and people are still buying it for a pretty expensive price. And that doesn't mean that this is automatically going to lose to this. Why wouldn't you want to see the old versus the new? What new technology can do compared to the stuff that's been out for a while, number one. And number two, if that's a problem, then one of these companies should update their nailers just like the other one did. That's right, my friends. This is a tool review channel, not Ryan's World. We don't play nice here. All right, let's get this tool duel started. The Dewalt 21-degree framing nailer. Now this has been my go-to framing nailer for quite some time. They also have a 30-degree framing nailer, but here's the thing. Milwaukee's struggling to come out with their 21-degree right now, and the 30-degree only available in the kit. Now the specs on this nailer states that it comes in at 6.5 pounds without the battery. That is not true. I just weighed it and it's just under 9 pounds without the battery. The Milwaukee is over 9 pounds without the battery. But check out the magazine clip right here. Nail capacity 55. And I like it. It's larger and it comes like that out of the kit instead of having to buy the extended clip. Now as far as it goes with the adjustments on this nailer, I think it gives you a lot more control over the depth and the power modes that you want to be in. So you can adjust that depth, very simple, up on top. You also have a couple different settings down here. If you don't want it to rev that high or have that much power, well, you can adjust that to the one setting instead of the two. But if you want to go one shot mode or bump mode or Rambo style, you can do that as well. You even got a stall release lever right up on top here. Now 100% battery power ran off of Dewalt 20 volt max batteries, no gas, no air lines. You also got that adjustable hanger right there, and you can stand it up on end if you wanted to. And as far as it goes with putting the nails in, very, very easy to do. Just put them down through the top. You have that auto slide right there, and that's it. Now let me throw this out at you. Even though it's bulkier and a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit heavier than the Milwaukee, it's actually balanced a lot better in my opinion than the Milwaukee. It feels great in the hands, and if I was working over my head, I would go with this nailer over the Milwaukee. You also have an onboard storage wrench for that release, and you got some really heavy duty upfront material. Now there is one issue with this nailer that might drive some of you crazy. I'll let you hear that here in a bit, but all in all, just because it's bulkier, just because it's older, does not mean that it is not a great nailer. Let's move it over to the Milwaukee IA real quick, and then we'll put them up against each other. Brand new to the market, the M18 Milwaukee Fuel Framing Nailer. Yes, it's finally here. It took a long time. Digital in the back. A lot of people don't like this because they're worried about some things might fail a little bit quicker, but I haven't had any issues with the other nailers. You can see them bright in the daylight. Problem is you can't even get the 21-degree right now during the shooting of this video, but hopefully within the next few weeks or months they will have all of these available for you. Now as far as it goes with bulkiness, you can get into those tighter areas if you want, a little bit more narrow. You also got that rafter hook, a little bit different setup than the Dewalt. It will take any M18 battery. The up front, still great build on both of these guns. Very easy to adjust your depth just like the Dewalt, but maybe a little bit easier on the Milwaukee. You got those spikes sticking out like a rhinoceros if you want to hold those in place on both nailers, but they also come with pads. So very, very well done on both nailers. Now, as far as it goes with the feel in the hands, don't get me wrong, it got a good grip, but the Milwaukee definitely feels unbalanced to me, and which makes that feel a little bit heavier. If I'm working overhead, I might not like that. The other issue that I have with the nailer is the clip. Now you can buy an extension for this. It states it holds 43 nails, but I always feel like I am reloading this thing. You also got the LED light up on front where my Dewalt's burned out. So just a quick look for you. Yeah, the Dewalt looks bulkier and bigger, but it's because of that clip, and I think the Dewalt is balanced much better than a Milwaukee. Now let's flip the script a little bit. Here's one thing that will probably drive a lot of people crazy. Yes, that's right. Every time you go to fire a nail, you're going to hear that revving. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. That said, it still sinks those nails fantastico. Again, on the Dewalt, very simple to adjust that depth setting, however not as easy as the Milwaukee. Now what I do like about the Dewalt is that it seems like a lot more control. You can adjust that where you're not putting as much pressure on that nailer by simply sliding it to the one position. And if you didn't want to sink them all the way down in, well, you could do that. But if you wanted to flip it to the 2 position and then sink them all the way down, well, check this out. Now that's a single shot mode, but everyone was driven down perfectly. We're gonna bump this up to Rambo style right now. All right, great framing nailer. Let's move it over to Milwaukee real quick. But what about the toenail? Well, there's one. There's 2. Yep, does it good. I also usually don't have any issues with this splitting wood too much. All right, Milwaukee framing nailer, we're gonna go Rambo bump style. We're gonna go single shot. We're gonna just see what we can do. Now you got that digital on the back here, very simple to adjust, to use. But let's see what happens. No revving at all, just fires. Does a great job. Now the reason why we're using treated, because I really wanna see what these nailers can do. We'll also try to pine here in a bit. Rambo style. What about the toenail? Sinks them in a little bit further than the Dewalt, so it definitely has a little bit more power than the Dewalt, but if you're not careful, you'll split the wood just like that. So you either have to adjust it or bring it up a little bit higher on your board. Now, even though you can adjust your depth setting on the Milwaukee, I still think that the Dewalt offers a little bit more control because you can fine tune it a little bit better. Now, the Dewalt nailer, you can sink between 2 and 3.5 inch nails. That's the same thing with the Milwaukee nailer. You can also fire 3 nails per second on the Milwaukee. I think it's the same with the Dewalt. Now, with the Milwaukee, however, I feel that it's more consistent. I think it fires nails evenly every single time, and I think it's more powerful. However, you still get enough power with the Dewalt. You do get that rev up, which might drive some people crazy, but it doesn't really bother me. And I like that you can adjust more on that than just simply the depth setting. So I'll be honest with you, I really don't know who to give it to. I think because the Milwaukee is heavier, if you're working overhead a lot, it's going to be a little bit more unbalanced for you, and I think it's going to be a bigger issue for ergonomics, where the Dewalt, it's a little bulkier but feels lighter because it's designed, I think, a little bit better when it comes to balance. And even though the Dewalt is an older nailer, who cares? That is their go-to nailer. This is the one they sell on the market. So it's only fair to put it up against what Milwaukee has. It is the M18 Fuel Nailer. So here's my thing. I think they're both great nailers. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. I like the Milwaukee because, again, it is more consistent and definitely feels more powerful and very silent, but the Dewalt just offers a lot of features as well. I really don't know which one I would go with. I think it's a tie. I got to be honest with you. I think it is a tie. So I want to know what you think. Which one do you think wins the Tool Duel? Is it the Dewalt, the tried and true, or the new Milwaukee Fuel M18 nailer? Leave me a comment in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you think. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on any other reviews. And if you could, please smash that like button, as it is greatly appreciated. We'll be back with more videos soon.